Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the online Sunday service of First Parish Church in Billerica, a Unitarian Universalist welcoming congregation. Whoever you are and wherever you are on life's journey, you're welcome here this morning. And we invite you to stay after the service and either catch up with folks or get to know folks. My name's Brita. I'll be the worship assistant for today's service. And we are thrilled to have as our worship leader this morning, Jim Scott, the wonderful UU musician, singer-songwriter, and activist. He is most famous for writing the hymn, Gather the Spirit, which we all know and love. And he's written many, many other things and sung on many wonderful, he's written poems, he's written short stories, he's written wonderful other pieces of music, other hymns. It's just very, very wonderful to have him with us here this morning. Are there any announcements?
The services, I think, as I mentioned last time, are going to be opening to in-person services, or well, hybrid. So we'll be meeting hybrid and we'll be meeting in person starting the first week of March. Some of the guidelines came out over the in the newsletter that we're going to be opening up for hybrid services. I am encouraging people to wear masks, but we're not going to mandate it because they're no longer mandated in Massachusetts or in Billerica. I think people should wear them for their own protection. We will still be social, but again, that's up to individuals. We will be socially distanced and there's no food or drink. And if anything changes with the mask, I'll announce it right before the service. That's the only thing that could possibly change. And then I think, I'm not sure I think Jua let me know what they're going to be doing during the music. And I think we can talk about that after the service, but I really appreciate everything Jua and the choir are doing with the music. And then I have Lil on my cell phone here listening in. So,
Hi, Lil.
yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So next week in March, we're going to be back in the building. Hooray. And we'll also show online as well. So that will be wonderful. Any other announcement? Oh, Sarah.
I am so thrilled to be able to go back to the church again and teach Pasanki, which is the Ukrainian Easter egg decorating technique that I've been doing most of my life. I started when I was 5 and I want to share it with everybody, especially given all what's in the news. We need the prayers for goodwill and love and all the good things that are built into those eggs. And it'll be Monday nights between 7 and 9 in the parish hall. Because I'm immunocompromised, it's going to be masks on. And I'm asking for people to be vaccinated, but everybody's welcome. And I really would love to see people come out. We're going to be spaced out well around the parish hall. There's lots of room for everybody. Come make beautiful eggs.
They are really pretty. Yeah.
Starting when?
The first Monday of Lent, which is, I believe, it's either the 7th or 11th, whatever the beginning one is in March.
Okay.
But it's every Monday in Lent.
Thank you, Sarah. That sounds wonderful. Any other announcements that folks want to? Okay, I'm not seeing anybody. I just want to start things though by acknowledging that First Parish Church was built on the unceded land of the Pawtucket and Massachusetts people. We acknowledge the connection that they have continued to maintain with the land here in this place we call Billerica. And we recognize the hardships they have endured and commit ourselves to fostering good relationships with our Indigenous neighbors. And on that note, I give the service over to Jim Scott with his opening song for us.
Good morning, everyone. I've been singing this song for many years, since I first got to play this song with the Paul Winter Consort. It's been attributed to me, but I didn't write it. A great Brazilian composer, Ivan Lins, wrote this song. and he let us put English words to it, and I got to sing it. And you can help. There's a chorus, and we can do it in 2 languages like this. In a circle of friends. This means friends when you hook your fingers together. In a circle, this means circle of sound. Try that much. In a circle of friends. In a circle of sound. All our voices, V for voices, if you can spell voices, will blend when we touch common ground. Voices are calling round the earth. Music is rising in the sea. The spirit of morning fills the air, guiding my journey home. Here is the path beyond the forest. Here is the song I always knew. I remember it just around the bend. In the village, the music never ends. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground. Touch common ground. Let's do that one more time. In a circle of friends, in a circle of sound, all our voices will blend when we touch common ground.
Oop, that was fantastic. Thank you. Wow. Wonderful, wonderful beginning. This is the time in our service when we light the chalice, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. And as I do that, please say the chalice lighting words that are going to be on the screen. Oops, get a Here we go. Life is a gift for which
We are grateful.
We gather
Gather
together
community to celebrate
celebrate
the glories
the
and
glories
the
and the
mysteries
mysteries
of
of
this
this
great
great
gift.
gift.
And please say along with me now our affirmation of faith. Love
Love
Oh,
is the
is
doctrine of
doctrine
this
of this
church.
church.
The
The
quest of
quest of
truth
truth
is its
is its
sacrament,
sacrament,
and
and
service
service
is
is
its
its
prayer.
prayer.
To dwell
To dwell
together in
together in
peace,
peace,
to
to
seek
seek
knowledge
knowledge
and
and
freedom,
freedom,
to
to
serve
serve humanity
humanity
in
in
fellowship,
fellowship, to the
to the
end
end
that
that
all
all
souls
souls shall
shall
grow
grow
into
into
harmony
harmony with the
with
with the
divine.
divine.
Thus
Thus
do
do
we
we
covenant
covenant
with
with
each
each
other.
other and with God.
God. Our opening hymn is Gather the Spirit, which we all know, and please mute, and Jim Scott will play it and sing it, and we can all sing along. It is in the gray hymnal, number 347.
That'll be better. Gather the Spirit, harvest the power. Our separate fires will kindle one flame. Witness the mystery of this hour. Our trials in this light appear all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the spirit of heart and mind. Seeds for the sowing are laid in store. Nurtured in love and conscience refined, with body and spirit united once more. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. Gather the Spirit, growing in all, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun. Winter to spring and summer to fall, the chorus of life resounding as one. Gather in peace, gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then. Gather in hope, compassion and strength. Gather to celebrate once again. I'd just like to share with you my friend Pat LaManna, wonderful folk singer and songwriter too, wrote some other words to this song for our era, for this season, and I'm going to sing you a short version of it. Gather in spirit, but shelter in place. Let's do what we can to flatten the curve. Wash your hands often and don't touch your face. This virus is something no one deserves. Everybody gather on Skype, gather on Zoom, gather by phone with family and friends. Gather online, but don't leave your room. Let's all stay safe until this crisis ends. Stay in your homes, wash hard surfaces and phones, spray disinfectant and wipe it off twice. You can eat a banana while wearing a bandana, but you might avoid bed rest with this sage advice. Everybody gather on Skype, gather on Zoom, gather by phone with family and friends. Gather online, but don't leave your room. Let's all stay safe until this crisis ends. So my song has another life. It's wonderful. I guess if you're well known enough, or you have what is it? You start with integrity, and then you get spoofed or something. That's something. That's progress. We are gathered again in that dangerous bastion, the church that threatens family values, the church that wants to undermine the authority of the Father, the church that has half forgotten the Creator in its pagan worshiping of the creation, the church that those right-wing radio ministries have warned us about, this church of bleeding heart liberalism, some thinly veiled front for leftist politics, of homosexual propaganda. I like it here. The church that tells you won't be going to hell no matter what you do in this life. The church that often leaves the first few pews open for the diversity we're sure is going to show up. We're open to it. The church of practicing witches, whose very assertion they don't believe in any devil confirms they must be accomplishing some of his work. And the church that sings carefully, not sure if there are any words we can totally subscribe to and not be questioning ourselves tomorrow or in the next worship committee meeting. The church is not sure if there is, in fact, anything that we can celebrate with that passion and abandon those other churches hold for Jesus, the Savior, Son of God the Father. Although something lurks in us, we might be missing out on some of their fun. It is that search for ecstasy, enlightenment, and other things, including free coffee, which is often the only thing whose origins we don't question, that brings us together. This is my church, and I'm a zealot. This is the church that says to everyone, you're not only welcome, but we need you and your creative input in our continuing, dynamic, and evolving culture. Diversity is a strength, a survival mechanism we believe in. We face the challenge of weighing new and ancient wisdom in our search for guidance in this life, as well as the continuing creation of our own mythology. It's not an easy job. And we come together in meetings like this to offer each other ourselves for sustenance. Oh, still get that frog out of my throat. Who let those frogs in? It's one of my favorite things that we do in churches until we get so big and so official that we don't have time for such things, that we share our stories. We share our life stories, not a time for political announcements, a time for sharing our personal reflections of our life journeys. And we call it joys and concerns, or joys and sorrows, or sometimes we call it some other things like life passages or milestones or things like that. You can't tell a Unitarian church what to do at any moment. So here's a little song just to set us up, and Brita will take us to joys and concerns. It's the chorus of a song. With every story told, our friendship becomes art. Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony with each day of Earth's turning. You can try it. With every story told. With every story told, our friendship becomes art. Our friendship becomes art. Each passage of life is a gateway to the heart, is a gateway to the heart. We are one in joy and sorrow. We are one in joy and sorrow, and the music of our learning, and the music of our learning is danced in love and harmony. Is danced in love and harmony with each day of Earth's turning.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, we've never had such a fantastic intro to joys and concerns. That was just wonderful. Thank you so much, Jim, for the musical interlude.
Unmute. Now, I'm new here. Tell me, we have a song, I guess, and then the offertory. Okay.
Harmony, and then the reading, God of Two Black Holes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Philosophizing about how a use can express, this deity or this great mystery or whatever it is that we, the great whatever, God, the goddess, however we do it. Nature, maybe Mother Nature, I came to this figure of speech, harmony. Peace is a rolling sea, so full of mystery. I feel its harmony in ebb and crest. Peace is a work of art that moves the open heart. Peace is a place to start and final rest. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody, I am your instrument. Let peace begin with me. Peace is a beacon bright that brings us inner sight, a radiating light, conquering fear, Peace is the wild bird's call, the painted leaves in fall. Peace is the health of all, I feel it here. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody, I am your instrument, let peace begin with me. Peace is a field of grain, neath sun and gentle rain, in nature's glad refrain of love begun. All beings' songs are sung as bells together rung. Peace speaks in every tongue, all songs are one. Harmony of harmony, I hear you sing to me. Let it wash over me, let it begin. Harmony of harmony, unfolding melody, I am your instrument, let peace begin with me. I have a great friend. She was my manager actually three decades ago. She is a very Christian person, and speaks of Jesus and God and Jesus and a lot. And I know in a UU community, there might be people who say, "Oh, we back there again," and might have issues with this. So, permit me to use the word God in this little poem that I've said here. She said about me, well, he only uses God when he hits his thumb with a hammer. I do mean more than that. I honor that there's some kind of great mystery. I don't know what it is, that creating in 7 days. Whose days were those? They weren't the earth turning days. But I think the universe story, the creation of the universe and all this is a pretty good story right there. The 2,000-year-old stories, they're good too, I guess. But I asked her, she was saying something about God. And I said, well, you mean God just for like certain human beings? Oh no, all people. Oh, all people, but only humans? Oh no, other, all things. Oh, really? Okay. I got a, what do you call it? I lost social media. I got not Instagram. I got a Facebook post. My daughter did make me an Instagram, but I don't spend any time there. A Facebook post to someone saying, "Oh, we're so sorry that your dog died recently, and what a companion he was, and I'm sure he's in doggy heaven, happily chasing squirrels." Heaven's not so good for squirrels, I guess. So I'm asking, you mean all of life? Well, just life on Earth? Is that all God deals with? Oh no, Really, the whole universe? Do you know how big we're talking about? God takes care of all of that. and boy, she's busy, I guess. So okay, you all heard the news a couple of years ago. We were aware that 2 black holes collided in space because we felt it here on Earth. Okay, this is called God of the 2 black holes. Oh, God of the 2 black holes that collided 1 billion years ago, but we just felt it now because it was so far away. And God of the 275 million stars or so that will be born on this Earth day and again tomorrow. And God of this little star with 8 or 9 planets, depending on who's counting. And God of this little planet, are you the same God with God of elements, water, air, fire, and earth, and of viruses and DNA and bacteria, of photosynthesis and contagion and immunity, of growth and struggle, of suffering and surviving, of crimes and mistakes, of wounds and of healing? God of evolution, diversity, nature, and lately, humanity, of ideals and passion, of greed and dominance, of civilization, agriculture, industry, fossil fuels, and plastic. God of science and nonsense. God of truth and lies. God of war, oppression, enslavement, genocide, the refugees, the dispossessed, the lost, the broken. God of hate and anger, and hiding right behind them, fear, and of amends and compassion, and of cooperation. Now this is important, of cooperation. God of memory, stories, and lessons, of art and expression, of sharing and understanding, of love. Was love involved back there with the 2 black holes? And God of this world, are you the same God? For this little group, on this little part of this little ball that has brought us again the spring, made for us the seasons and the turning toward the sun, awakening again that lust for life, exploration, risk, ecstasy, awareness, and aging, and enlightenment, where all our mistakes of the past become the compost for the fertile earth from which all is made anew. Are you still there? I know this is getting long. God of the senses, of beauty, of sorrow and elation. God for that one particular species with the power of language and learning, of dreams and longing, of vision and imagination, to have created you in our image. It was the best we could do. And who don't even know your name. We fight about that. And who in the last flash of time have come to some little perspective on the whole thing. We're working on it. God of the wisdom of matter and energy, trading places. Matter and energy, trading places. And big bangs and expanding universes. And benign lack of oversight and trust in the evolution of things to have let us go here with Eden. And maybe the same, but different on lots of other planets, around lots of other stars. 500 billion galaxies, hundreds of billions of stars in each. 1 in 6 stars with planets around them. The odds are pretty good, God, of trillions of springs at this very moment. Thanks for all this. Thank you. I will say gratitude is a thread through all religions. And it turns out the practice of faith, practice of a spiritual practice is good for us. People live longer, happier, healthier. But this gratitude is really kind of what what it comes down to, gratitude for another day. This is a problem for Unitarian Universalists because we don't know who to thank. So thank you. We will, believe, have our offertory.
Wow, thank you. Isn't existence wonderful and uh, huge and to be pondered and be thankful for? I'm just
Play
going
it
to
back.
I do have to remind folks that our Unitarian Universalist churches are self-supporting, and it's your gifts that sustain the work of the church. You can make an offering by going to our website, uubilrica.org, or by, of course, mailing in a check to our post office box 96, Billerica, 01821. And I have asked Jim Scott to lead the doxology.
Yeah, let's see if he can sing. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of hope and faith arise. Let it be truth and what's the words you sing? I couldn't get it. Truth be sung by from every. Put them on the screen. That would help. Okay, that'll help a lot. Let's do that again. From all that dwell below the sky, let songs of love and hope, faith arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung through every land, by every tongue. Ah, women and men, said my friend Pete Seeger. Every time he'd end something like that. So, I was a part of making a big piece of music with the Paul Witter Consort some years ago, and actually, I'm here, and I'll tell you, I'm here in California right now to rehearse the Missa Gaia Earth Mass. It's a big choral piece with a fine choir here. This afternoon, I'm gonna rehearse with them. I better get my voice working. The Redwood Chorale. And so we're going to do this on Earth Day in Santa Rosa, California. Actually, a couple of performances on the weekend of Earth Day, April 23rd and 4th. But I'm here to rehearse with them now and tell them about how did we get to do this. At the Cathedral of St. John in New York, we were artists in residence, and that meant just play an occasional concert. But the dean of the cathedral said, well, when are you going to do something for Sunday morning? James Morton, a visionary guy. Now, this cathedral up by Columbia University in almost Harlem, upper New York City, upper Manhattan, is the largest Gothic cathedral in the world. It's not done yet. But it's enormous. It's only been being built for 150 years. Building stopped, and the congregation had ground down to little or nothing in the 60s. This huge place. People were meeting still for worship, but Jim Morton decided everything should happen in the cathedral. So he got Sufi dancing. He got Philip Petit to walk a tightrope in there. He got, he brought all kinds of international meetings and celebrations of everything imaginable and all different religions to meet in the Cathedral of St. John. So when he asked us to do music, we said, well, could it be then interdenominational? Yes, but in the form of a mass. He explained, masses are really pretty loose. You can throw in anything you want into a mass. And I'd studied masses in school, but I'd actually never really been to a mass before that. But a mass, by Bach and Beethoven, and they're big pieces of music that you study, the form of that. So we wrote this big piece, the Missa Gaia, based kind of after James Lovelock, an amazing scientist who you might remember if you might have even gotten his book. And James Lovelock and Lynn Margulis, two scientists, they called it the Gaia hypothesis. They are hypothesis because they're scientists. Their hypothesis is that the Earth is one living being, one living thing here floating in space. I never really got it about the bearded old man in the sky, but I do get it about this very round woman in the sky. I'm comfortable with her having a feminine aspect. And she is our mother, as well as maybe we deify her and say goddess and all of that. So this is all argued by scientists, the semantics of that. Are you, what's the word? You're trying to turn the earth into a cute little thing, but I think most of us accept it as more than poetry. And it was only around that same time that Unitarian Universalists we adopted our seventh principle of the interdependent web of all life, which some people refer to as the Gaia principle. So it's all one thing, and we're all a part of that one thing. This is a very small planet. Jupiter is much bigger, not very big compared to the universe that I was just making jokes about. Everything we know about life is here on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, said Carl Sagan. Rebecca Solnit wrote in Harper's Magazine about 1946, right after World War II, and I was born about then. Great cities of the earth were in ruins at that point. More than 60 million people had died, and maybe another 10 million if you count various other things, genocides, out of a human population that was only 1/3 what it is now, in my lifetime. But animals in jungles and rainforests were still holding on reasonably well, although we'd been warned for a long time that their well-being was threatened. This really hit me. What corresponds with the span of my lifetime is a war on the earth, unprecedented in history. There are 3 times as many people on the earth as when I was born, and a quarter of the insects. A quarter of the insects. 40% of the nature we had. So I said before, the 2,000-year-old stories, they're good. But a new mythology is what we need, and lessons that are different. We're a water planet. The continents occupy less than 1/3. 2/3 is ocean. There's a lot more water, salt water. But a glacier the size of Delaware just broke off this summer. That's the fresh water. 2/3 of our fresh water is in glaciers. 1/3 is in the ground. Our supply is going down. You'd think we'd value this enough, our survival, to invest in it. The pandemic, I think, has changed a lot of our thinking fast. We're spending a lot on that problem, this worldwide problem. And yes, there's the denial, this well-funded denial, as a matter of fact, but I mean the intelligent people. Beyond the disappearing forests and the soil in crisis, the water in crisis, the air in crisis, and now a pandemic to teach us the Earth's basal metabolism is going up, is changing. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch, garbage being a rather misleading term, because we might think of garbage as organic, originally described as bigger than Texas, is bigger than India. Oh wait, there's another one that we've discovered that's almost as big as Texas. But it's decaying into microscopic plastic, tiny shreds, and they're everywhere. They come from the bottle of plastic bottle of water that you buy, too. They're in the water. They are in us. Plastic is now forming into rock. There's a new term. Volcanic eruptions say under the ocean. I read about this. The ocean melts the plastic and it forms into rock. It's called plastiglomerate. There's a new term. In some millions of years, maybe some living being will find that stuff and say, boy, those stupid people. The plastic is in all of us, but so is, and I don't mean to make you ill, but so is strontium-90, DDT, PCBs, BPA, bisphenol, one of the best funded lying campaigns out there. PBDEs, polybrominated diphenyl ethers, are in all this stuff. They're in us. Perfluorinated chemicals, Teflon, then good old formaldehyde, asbestos, heavy metals, and lately PFAS is in our drinking water, and they're in us. As human lives have gotten longer and longer with medical miracles, human lives are getting shorter again. And our future doesn't look good for that. That radical magazine, Forbes magazine, reports it's worse than previously thought. So I know you could say, oh yeah, we all know this. Stop telling us all that stuff. Let's talk about something that's supportive. We have evolved into something new in the last century. And evolution, yes, goes over millions of years over certain things. After that big asteroid that hit the Earth 65 million years ago, killed most living things on the Earth, it still took another 100,000 years, not very long really, for the dinosaurs to really totally fade out. But those little mammals who could bury in the earth or even hide in the water and so on, those little mammals are what got determined by that asteroid to be the new dominant thing, and that's us. But enough of that. There's a headline that a UK environmental group uses. Not that they've given up at all, but their headline is, "It's too late. What you had when you were a kid, you don't have anymore. What you had last year, you don't have anymore." So the question is, they do it with a little humor, because this is a group that goes out in the woods and beats drums and hugs trees and does things like that too. The question is, how much longer than too late will we wait? There's only one solution. Stop what we're doing. This is almost impossible for us to grasp. It's hard for me, because I know what's good for me. I know what will make me live longer, happier, healthier, but I don't necessarily do it. Why is that? I must be an addict. I must be wounded, alienated, torn from the very interconnectedness that would heal me, and filling the emptiness with any kind of diversion and immediate gratification, while the spirit of life on earth is dying. We can't really escape this reality. So what can we do? What keeps us going? I think gratitude and celebration keeps us going. I'm wondering, I know this is, the time is getting away from us, but I had a few more words, and I'm going to make an executive decision and say, I'd rather sing you the songs. I have 2 songs. Do we have time for that before we pay you overtime?
No. Whatever you want, whatever you want to sing, you want to talk, whatever.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
We don't want to lose everybody before coffee hour. So I wrote this song as originally it was part of, I was envisioning a musical, though this, and it's my story is about the disappearing forests and a kid who fights to save his favorite tree from being cut down. I'll just tell you that, but this song doesn't move the plot along or anything. So, and it is in our Singing the Journey hymn book, or her book, or however we do it, their book, our book. Far, oh boy, do I have to do that again? He'll come around. Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love, expanding. The message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change keys. Peace is in the dance of trees, who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song, becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth, forever giving. And now, to maintain the harmony, gives to us all lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined, vast and immeasurable, time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart, to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
Wow. That was beautiful. Thank you. My goodness.
Thank you.
What a wonderful, wonderful
He can't get
song.
up to his high notes.
Well,
Thank
it
you for
sounded
being patient
wonderful
with me
anyway.
about that. So, yes, let's extinguish the chalice.
Please say with me the words on the screen as we extinguish the chalice, and then Jim will lead us in our closing hymn and benediction. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts
until we
until
are
we
together
are together again.
May your life be a song, okay?
This is an old Russian folk song that is the chorus of this song. I put some verses with it. Some people tell me all the time, oh, but we sang that with different words when I was in scout camp or something like that. But I made what I thought was more poetic words to the chorus, and got carried away in a rush of irrational exuberance. I added 2 verses to the song, but it would sound like this in Russian. that's not it. That's tuning. How's that? Naši жизни мы должны соткать из ветра звук, пропеть его в ночи, чтоб звезды слушали во сне и хоровод водили в тишине. Isn't that nice? Everybody! I love to do that. Kind of went from Russia to Brazil. I'm not sure what happened. My wish for you, as now we part, is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed. Through every fate and circumstance, may all plead weary steps to dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. So it turns into a round. I'll sing a line, you sing it back, and may your life be as a song. Try that. And may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. Try the whole thing. May your life, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, softly serenade, and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. So it turns into a round. Let's see if we can do it. And of course, you can just sing the same line 4 times over. And may your life be as a song, resounding. May your life to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. Way the stars ever dance, and may your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing awake the light, then softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night. When Wisdom was a striking young man, he met a beautiful woman named Love. Now, I'm not really sure who was a man and who was a woman. Maybe they were the same sex. I'd like to keep you, said wisdom. You can't own me, said love, but I love you anyway. What would it cost to know you'd always be there, asked wisdom. Don't ask such questions, said love. Just look at the stars. Why? Wisdom pondered. Are they telling us something? Oh, chill out, chided love, which made wisdom happy in a funny sort of way. And so it was that wisdom fell in love with love and thus became truly wise. Let's go in peace.